Picture yourself relaxing on a couch. Now imagine there's a guitar in your hands. How clear can you see it? Can you tell what color the guitar is? Now imagine it's a silver guitar. Your ability to paint a picture in your mind, perhaps of a childhood memory, or of a new artwork you haven't painted yet, may seem like second nature to you. However, 1 in 50 people are incapable of intentionally creating these images in their mind's eye. This syndrome is called aphantasia, from the Greek meaning without imagination. This syndrome was first studied in 1880. Francis Galton asked 100 friends, many distinguished scientists themselves, how vividly could they see an image in their mind. To his surprise, many responded that they had no concept of mental imagery at all.
We use question for you, suppose, a sense for some sort of presupposition regarding anxiety. The image which sees. This points to some random fallacy. It only to be a figure of speech which can be described by a recollection of sciences as a mental image, which can never be foreseen as a mental eye. We do not see it, any more as a man sees 1,000 miles of shoulders, which under due pressure, in a sense or fate, the memory possesses it.
Over the last 140 years, even with advanced technology, little progress has been made in understanding this phenomena. In fact, it is still debated whether this is a real phenomenon. Perhaps the issue doesn't lie in their mind's eye, but in their awareness that they are picturing an image, what scientists call poor metacognition. Dr. Rebecca Keogh and Joel Pearson of the University of New South Wales have endeavored to answer this question. They took advantage of a well-studied process that holding a visual image in your mind will alter your subsequent perception. Participants were shown one colored patch to their left eye and another to their right eye through a special binocular setup. People don't perceive a mix of these images, but only one of the two patches. When eye dominance is controlled for by adjusting contrast, which patch is observed is highly influenced by which patch was previously pictured in the mind's eye. Cleverly, this allows scientists to know if the subject had an image in their mind without relying on the subject's ability to report on their imagination. 15 subjects with aphantasia and 209 control subjects did this task. We talked to Dr. Joel Pearson to explain the results.
So the fascinating thing we found that was really quite clear was our aphantasic group, i.e. the people with no mind's eye, performed hardly above chance in terms of this priming experience, whereas our control group definitely had this binocular priming. Additionally, in the aphantasic group, we didn't see any correlation between what limited ability they did have of producing visual imagery and binocular priming. We then used a technique called bootstrapping to see how probable was it for our results to be due to random chance of the selection of the subjects from the population, or was it due to a real effect of them having aphantasia? We found that there was a 1 in 1,000 probability of it being due to random chance. Nobody before has used neuroimaging to see what is different about the structure or function of the brains of aphantasics compared to the general population. However, looking at a healthy person, normally in picturing something in their mind's eye, you'll see that the frontal cortex regions here are signaling it to the visual cortex to create activity that resembles that of viewing the actual object. So you might expect it is something different about the frontal cortex or the visual cortex or the way they're communicating.
One issue with Dr. Keogh's experiment is that it does not eliminate the possibility that the image is pictured in the visual cortex, but it doesn't connect properly to the regions of the brain responsible for binocular priming, as well as the regions of the brain responsible for awareness that they have an image in their mind. They can still see involuntary imagery, such as from dreams. So some suggest their issue is with not knowing how to imagine. This theory may be supported by one person with aphantasia, who claimed to have gained the ability to intentionally imagine after a single dose of ayahuasca, a hallucinogen rich in DMT. Is this a cure? Before all aphantasics book a trip to Peru, much more remains to be understood about the underlying differences in the brains of those who can and can't imagine.